Hey everybody, GC Performance here, back with another video. And in today's video, we're taking a look at, do hookless rims have a place in road bike cycling? This is today, actually, in the race Torino Adriatico. This was stage 3. A rider with 13 kilometers to go had a blow off with his hookless rim on a ZIPP 454, looks to be. So you guys know my stance on hookless wheels. I think that I know it sounds weird, but I think that it's just the wheel manufacturer companies that have it just like an agenda to push this onto consumers to buy. Because the only benefit that really is playing out for hookless wheels is that they're cheaper to make. When they released it, they said, oh, they're cheaper to make for the manufacturer, so consumers get a kickback and they get these wheels for super cheap. But again, they're coming out with price points at $1,600, $1,500. I'm seeing hookless rims when you can still get a really good pair of carbon clincher rims for $1,000 by Specialized, like the Revolve C38s. You have the WINSPACE Hypers out there. You have all these other China brand wheels as well. But for me, I don't believe hookless wheels are still that thing in road cycling. Maybe they could be down the road once the tolerances get a little bit more tighter. Once they start making these tires a better tolerance and they're all the same. Maybe the wheel's all the same. But right now, I don't see it. I do have the video of this rider, what happened to him, which I'll break down in a second. But still, it just doesn't make any sense to me to have a hookless wheel when you can achieve the exact same destination with a hooked rim. You buy a carbon, let's say you buy this exact same rim, carbon fiber, in a hooked rim version, which ZIPP doesn't offer. You can still run that with a 28 tire, 28C tire, a 30C tire. You can run it tubeless or tubes, and you can run it 70 PSI if you wanted to, because these rims are so modern now and they're so wide. It's all there. The claims for hookless is that they're lighter weight, they have a better aerodynamic profile, and that they're more durable to impact. But again, it's just cheaper for the manufacturer to make. So it doesn't make any sense to me, and I do think that these big companies like ZIPP and ENVE shot themselves in the foot by making all their rims pretty much hookless and going that route, because back in the day, ZIPP used to have a stronghold on the whole competition. Same with ENVE as well, giving these consumers a choice of all it was clincher rims. And now their sales have, at least in my store, I don't know if you can speak anywhere else, but there's so many other strong names out there, like Revolve, like Princeton, like Bontrager, like Reynolds. There's so many other strong names out there that have a hooked rim option that you can still run tubeless, that I just see people buying because of the fact that they're uncertain of hookless. Maybe it's new to them. Maybe they just don't like the technology. Maybe they don't like being forced into being able to use only a certain tire. It just doesn't make any sense because you can achieve it differently. And I know what you guys are going to say. Grant, don't you still use hookless tires on cars? Isn't that the modern day era? Your car tires are hookless? Yes. My defense against that is that it's been out for a very, very long time. Those car tires are very, very heavy. They're massive. They have a bunch of materials. You put a tire on the ground, it's going to stand there by itself, and it has a bunch of material to hold itself upright. Also, the wheels themselves, the rims on there, are super heavy, and they're meant to be a very wide volume ram to hold up a car's weight, and also have low tire pressure as well in certain scenarios. So my defense against that is that their tolerances are not meant to be a crazy light wheel or a crazy light tire like this. This tire, when they manufacture this thing, they want to be as light as possible. They want this rim to be as light as possible. They want to mass produce it, and that's why you see these different variations of me like having a video where I have two of the exact same tires, one weighing 14 grams less and the other one weighing 14 grams heavier, just because of the fact that you just bought the different tire. I think that's too big of a variation. And even with rims, I've had two of the exact same rims of a rear wheel by the same company that has been a couple grams heavier than the other rim. So I don't think they're putting that material where it needs to be done. Whereas, like I said, with car tires, it's a lot of material there. They have a massive bead on there. It's meant to hold its shape. They have a bunch of wires in there and wire beads inside there. It's doing its job properly, and it's 4 tires supporting a vehicle. In terms of this road wheel being like this, I give it an example to this of a car wheel. This is by Whistle and Diesel, where you put these Amish tires onto this Dodge Challenger. That's why I put it as just like a very thin tire holding up a very overweight person and a bicycle. So just for example, that was it. But again, because of the fact that you have such a thin tire, like a 28C tire, only running 70 PSI, you're putting out massive watts if you're a pro rider. You're putting out some kind of good watts if you're a decent rider. Let's say, like me, I'm 100 kilos, 200 pounds. I'm cranking this thing up back and forth. I'm relying on this tire to hold in place without a bead or a hook on there. I just don't like it. Especially, let's say you're bombing down a hill. It doesn't do it for me. I know it can be done. I know they do hold up. I know a bunch of people have it. But in my personal experience, on it, I see a lot of failures to good compared to a clincher or tubular that has very little failures to good ratio. But let's take a look at this rider right anyways. So this was from stage 3. I do have to mute it because I already did this video once and the volume of it got me demonetized. So boom, this is the Peloton, all straight line, all hugging this road. There's a bunch of potholes in this road. Hookless wheels claim that they are more durable to a impact. This rider, the announcers think that he hit a pothole. There was not confirmed nor denied because I couldn't look up any more information on here. But they think that he hit a pothole and that caused that 70 psi to burp off that tire. But all these other riders are riding the exact same line and dodging or missing or hitting those things and not having this issue. Him right here, his tire completely came off, so now this rider is just riding on his rim itself, so that's probably what caused the damage to the rim. The tire already burped off, which he probably hit this little bump in the road right here. But again, you don't want that for a $4,000 wheel, like a mountain bike tire. You don't want that. I will take a hooked tire and a hooked rim all day long. You can run a 70 psi on there if you wanted to because these modern rims. It makes no sense to me. The marginal gains of being lighter weight or more aerodynamic makes no sense to me. But yeah, that's it. I mean, let me know what you guys think there. Do you think that ENVE and ZIPP, those are the two big brand names out there, shot themselves in the foot by going all hookless? I don't think the technology is there. Can it be there? Obviously, anything can be there because they are the mountain bike and the gravel bikes are more dominant with hookless, but they're meant for that low psi. So if you can get it to a point where it doesn't have these failures like this all the time that I've been seeing more and more of, it's just crazy to me. You're saying that your rims are lighter weight and that because they're hookless wheels you can be made lighter, but then you have to manufacture a heavier tire that has to be used on this rim to be put into there. So the weight difference of this being a little bit lighter because it's hookless is negated by this heavier tire over here. Whereas I can get a lightweight hooked rim that's a little bit heavier than this hookless, but have this stupid light tire and TPU tube. It just doesn't make any sense. Let me know what you guys think. That's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.